So, hi, welcome to Thinkpharma YouTube channel. So, this is the continuation class of alkaloids. So, in before class, we have learned different classifications, right? So, like it is having based upon some chemical structure and based upon its heterocyclic ring, based upon its non-heterocyclic ring. We have studied different kinds of alkaloids, right? Like tropane alkaloids, indole alkaloids, imidazole alkaloids, steroidal alkaloids, isoquinoline alkaloids, quinoline alkaloids, everything, right? So, in detail, we will see regarding the classification of drugs in the class. Okay, so moving on to the topic. So, the first one is pyridine and piperidine alkaloids. So, what is meant by pyridine and piperidine alkaloids? So, pyridine is nothing but a six-membered ring. Okay, it is nothing but a six-membered ring. Six-membered ring examples. Six-membered ring examples. We can take benzene, right? So, this piperidine is benzene with first position N, and the piperidine is a cyclohexane ring with NH. Okay, so the examples were lobelia, tobacco, and areca nut. So first we will see the lobelia. When we are studying the pharmacognosy subject, so a plant will have different parts, right? Like leaves. So it is having two parts, aerial part and the root part. Okay, as you all know that. So aerial part which consists of leaves, then stems, bark, and then fruits, flowers, everything. So this underground root system is the other part, right? So, when you're studying this pharmacognosy, uh, you have to study like so one chemical constituent is there. The chemical constituent which was present in it might be any part like leaves, roots, stem, bark, something. So you have to say like this chemical constituent, particular AB chemical constituent, which was taken from these leaves of a specific plant of this family or of this genus, like that you have to give some information. Okay, so we will see the first example like lobelia, and the synonym is asthma weed, Indian tobacco, or Nali, and the biological source is the lobelia which was obtained from dried aerial part of Lobelia nicotianaefolia. Okay, and the next family is Campanulaceae. The next chemical constituent which are present are lobeline, lobelanidine, lobelanine, and lobelidine. Okay. Then the uses of this lobelia is it was used in asthma, bronchitis, and respiratory stimulant. Next, coming to tobacco, the biological source of tobacco is it was obtained from dried leaves from Nicotiana tobacum. Okay. So the family is Solanaceae, and the chemical constituents of nicotine, anabasine, and anatabine. So the nicotine, as you all familiar with this word, nicotine is a chemical constituent which is present in this tobacco. So it has a characteristic activity like addiction. Okay, so it causes addiction. So the uses of this tobacco are stimulant effect on heart and nervous system. And then next moving on to the areca nut, the synonyms were betel nut and supare. As we can see, so many people were chewing the areca nuts, right? So it is also called as betel nut or supare. And then the biological source is the areca nut, which was obtained from ripe seeds of Areca catechu. The family is Ericaceae. The chemical constituents which were present are ericoline, ericadine, and guaifenesin. And the uses were parasympathomimetic, anthelmintic drug, and vermicide. Anthelmintic and vermicide is nothing but it expels some worms, or it kills, or it inhibits the growth of some worms. And the next, moving to the quinoline alkaloids. Quinoline is nothing but a two-membered ring with N in first position. Okay, two benzene rings with N in first position, that is called as quinoline. Okay, and for this quinoline alkaloids, we have two examples here, that is cinchona and camphorica. So coming to the cinchona here, the synonym of the cinchona plant is Jesuit's bark and Peruvian bark. So the biological source of this plant is it was obtained from dried bark of plant like Calicea, Cinchona calicea and Cinchona saxirubra, Cinchona officinalis and Cinchona legeriana. So these are the four different kinds or four different species of this cinchona. And then the family is Rubiaceae. The chemical constituents are quinine, quinidine, cinchonine, and cinchonidine. So, for a particular plant, there will be different chemical constituents. And when we are saying only two, three, so that will be the major chemical constituent which are present in a high amount in that plant. Okay. So, a particular plant might have different chemical constituents. So according to its chemical nature, it will show the pharmacological activity. Okay. So it is having now different chemical constituents. So and the different chemical constituents are also showing some different pharmacological activities. So you can see here it is showing anti-malarial activity. Quinine is showing anti-malarial activity, and then quinine is showing anti-arrhythmic activity, right? And the next, moving on to the camphorica. This camphorica is synonym is cancer tree or happy tree. So the biological source, the camphorica, which was obtained from dried stem wood of plant Camphorica acuminata and Camphorica laureana, and the family is Nicotianaceae, and the chemical constituents which were present are camphothecin, irinotecan, and topotecan. So we can see different chemical constituents or different drugs which are used to treat the cancer, right? So like bleomycin, topotecan, irinotecan, Camphorica, podophyllitoxin, Taxol, so Vinca, all these drugs are cancer treating drugs, and this Camphorica, which is used as anti-cancer. This topotecan and all these things we can get even from synthesized drugs also. So here it is a natural drug now. So coming to the tropin alkaloids here, belladonna, its synonym is deadly nightshade, and its biological source is obtained. So belladonna is obtained from dried leaves and other aerial parts of Atropa belladonna, and its family is Solanaceae. Okay, and then its chemical constituents was like hyoscyamine and belladonine, scopolamine and hyoscine homotropin. Okay, and then next its uses was like a parasympatholytic drug. So in before slide we have seen for the drugs like it was showing parasympathomimetic, right? So here the belladonna is the drug which is showing parasympatholytic activity. Okay, so what is parasympatholytic activity or drug dose? So the parasympatholytic are the drugs which was used to block the effects. Okay, muscarinic effects, and in adulteration. So the plants which were used to adulter this belladonna is Phytolacca americana, Solanum nigrum, Ailanthus glandulosa. Okay, and then next moving on to the datura. So the synonym is angel's trumpet. And then next, its biological source is it was obtained from dried leaves and flowering tops of datura metal. So its family is a Solanaceae, and its chemical constituents is hyoscine and hyoscyamine and atropine. So its uses was like anticholinergic pre-operative medication. Okay. So anticholinergic means it acts opposite to the cholinergic system. Okay. And the next, moving on to the stramonium, and the synonyms are like thorn apple, Jimson weed, and Folia stramoni. So it was obtained from dried leaves and flowering tops of Datura stramonium. And see, if you see the Datura metal and the Datura stramonium are the same kind of plant, but with some different, little bit different difference will be there in its characteristics. Okay, and these both are from same family, and then even it have the same chemical constituents like hyoscine and hyoscyamine, and it is used as anticholinergic and treatment of asthma. Okay, the next, moving on to the hyoscyamus. The synonym is henbane, and then the biological source is this Hyoscyamus obtained from dried leaves and flowering tops of Hyoscyamus niger, and then the family is Solanaceae family, and then the chemical constituents were like hyoscine, hyoscyamine, and ectropine. And the uses were like relieves the spasm of urinary tract, so it gives some relief, it gives some comfort over the contractions, and then sedative expectorant. Okay, and next moving on to the coca leaves. So the coca is obtained from dried leaves of erythroxylon coca, so from the family erythroxylaceae. So we know chemical constituent which are present in coca, right? Cocaine, cinnamyl cocaine, and chococaine. So the chemical constituents which were showing uses like a local anesthetic, stimulant, and ophthalmic. So coming to isoquinoline alkaloids, isoquinoline is nothing but, so before we have seen that quinoline means a two-membered ring with N in first position, right? So isoquinoline is nothing but two-membered ring with N in second position. Okay. So examples were like opium, ipecac, curare, and nux vomica. So coming to the opium first. So the synonym was afim, and the biological source is it was obtained from dried latex by incision from unripe capsules of Papaver somniferum, and the family is Papaveraceae. And the chemical constituents which were present in opium were like morphine, codeine, thebaine, piperine, and norcotine and norcine. Okay, so mainly main constituent is the morphine. Okay, so the morphine which shows activities like analgesic means pain reliever, and then sedative and hypnotics which produces respiratory depression and constipation. Okay, and then when you have seen in market like some cough syrups are having codeine in it. Okay, so this codeine is from this opium. And then next coming to ipecac, the synonym is golden root or Brazilian ipecac. The biological source, it was obtained from dried root or rhizome of Cephalus ipicacuna or Cephalus acuminata. So the family is Rubiaceae, and then the chemical constituents which are present in this ipecac are phenolic and non-phenolic. And the phenolic were like cephalin, psychotrine, and non-phenolic was like imitin, psychotrine, and methylether. So the uses were expectorant and emetic, amoebic dysentery, and some plants which were used like allied plants are Elanchium hillia, Menitia, Psychotria, Boria, and Remigia. Okay, then next moving on to the curare drugs. So the curare, the synonym is South American arrowroot poison, urari, and curare. Okay. The next, moving on to its biological source, the curare is obtained from dried extract from the back-coned stem of Chondrodendron tomentosum, and then the family is Lobelanidine. The chemical constituents which are present are D-tubocurarine and curarine and tomentocurine. Okay, so the uses were neuromuscular blocking agent and skeletal muscle relaxant. Okay, it gives some relaxation when if some contracted muscles are there, so it gives relaxation. Next, moving on to the nux vomica. So the synonyms were crowfig seed, dog poison, and kuchla. So the biological source is obtained from dried ripe seed of Strychnus nux vomica. Then moving on to the family Lobelanidine, and the chemical constituents which are present are strychnine and brucine. So the uses of this nux vomica are bitter stomachic and tonic, and central nervous system stimulant. It acts as CNS stimulant. And then adulteration. So adulteration is nothing but replacing the original drug with some substituted or substranded or some degraded drug. Okay, that is meant by adulteration. So we can adulterate this Strychnus nuxivomica plant with Strychnus potatorum or Strychnus nuxblanda. Okay, and then this allied plants were like Strychnus volchiana and Strychnus ignata. So finally, thank you. And then follow for more updates. Thinkpharma YouTube channel. Subscribe, please like, share, subscribe the Thinkpharma YouTube channel and get more updates and then get succeed in your competitive exams.